Good morning and welcome to another episode of Sarah's Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about all things grilling. With August comes warm weather, barbecues, and an abundance amount of vegetables out of your garden. If you're anything like me, you always have a lot of extra zucchini and squash lying around. And what do we do with all of those? Today we're going to take those zucchini and squash and grill them up and make a delicious side dish. The first step to our recipe is going to be making a marinade. Now, a lot of times with marinades, we tend to put this on the vegetables or the meat before they cook, but in this recipe, we're actually gonna add it at the end to help keep that squash crisp and also gives it just a little bit more flavor in the end. So first, we're gonna add a half a cup of olive oil. To the olive oil, we're gonna add a quarter cup of white wine vinegar. Now, you could use red wine vinegar if you'd like, but today, for a little bit milder flavor, we're gonna use the white wine vinegar. Then we're gonna add 2 cloves of grated garlic. Now, if you smash the back of your garlic with your knife, it actually helps it peel a little bit easier. I'm gonna use this zester today to grate the garlic into my marinade. Okay, and then we're just gonna whisk it up very quickly and then set it aside until we're ready for it. We're now gonna turn our attention to the vegetables. So with the vegetables, we're going to just slice them into very thin slices, and you can also even cut them in different shapes or in rounds if you'd like, but today we're gonna use long strips. All right, so we're gonna start with the yellow squash. We're gonna cut the ends off of both sides of it. And then I'm gonna cut these into about 1.5 inch long strips. And if they're not perfect, that's okay. And then we're gonna do our zucchini. So for this recipe, you're actually gonna wanna use about 4 medium-sized zucchini or yellow squash. If you don't like one or the other, you can use all zucchini or all yellow squash. Next, we're gonna cut our red onion. So I've already peeled the onion, but you do wanna leave the root end on the onion. This is gonna help hold it together while we're cooking it. So we're gonna cut this into 8s. So next step is we're gonna take all of our vegetables and add it to a baking sheet and toss it with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. This is gonna help keep it from sticking to the barbecue. So once you get your vegetables all tossed in the olive oil and get them out to the grill, just go ahead and put them straight onto the grill itself. This will give it that nice grilled look and also add some extra flavor. Cook your squash for about 3 minutes on each side. Your red onions may take a little bit longer. Feel free to take the vegetables off as they're done and just add them back to that original baking sheet. So basil is one of those things a lot of us have growing in our garden as well, and it adds such a great flavor to foods. So we're just gonna roll it up, makes it a little bit easier to chop, and then just give it kind of a really rough chop here. Once all of your vegetables are done and back on that baking sheet, now we're gonna add the marinade. So go ahead and take the marinade that you prepared before and just add it right to that baking sheet. We're gonna let those vegetables sit for about 15 minutes to fully absorb the flavor. After you let your vegetables sit for about 15 minutes, go ahead and add them to your serving dish. We're gonna top it with that basil that we cut up earlier and a little bit of feta cheese. This is really just a really nice side dish to add to any summer barbecue, and it's a fun way to use zucchini outside of the ways that most of us typically do. One of the benefits of grilling fruits and vegetables over meat is when we grill meat, sometimes cancer-causing chemicals can be formed. One of the ways we can work around this is making sure we marinate our meats and cook them at a low temperature. Grilling can be a fun activity, but we always want to remember to wear our sunscreen and keep ourselves protected from the sun. I challenge you to try different fruits and vegetables next time you're out grilling.